We finally made it. Thanks for attending the Sex Mom third grade performance at Portland Musical. The performance you're about to see is the result of a lot of hard work and learning. And yes, there's a little fun sprinkled into it. This musical was created by Ralph Nelson and has benefited classrooms across the country. Who can we call right now? Mr. Carr? Hello? Yes, my phone is turned on. Why? Oh, it shouldn't be? I should have turned it off before I started speaking. Yes, sorry. Yes, please remember to turn off all cell devices and be a courteous audience if you enjoy our performance.
This is a story of a city, our city, Portland. This is a story about how people came and settled in our city and how they built a great city.
It is a story about good times and bad times. It is a story about how people like you and me can make life better for people in our city.
For thousands of years, native peoples roamed the area we now call Portland. They belonged to a tribe called the Multnomahs.
The Multnomahs had many settlements in our area. The largest settlement was on the Side-Beach Island, which was also called Wapardo Island for the Wapardo root that grew on the island. The tribe used the Wapardo plant much like we use potatoes today.
There is also a lookout, Council Crest, very near to the Hebe Heights Tower today.
And they are next to a beautiful river named Willamette, which is later named the River of Peace. That river claims the star of Portland.
Two explorers named Lewis and Clark began a journey from St. Louis, Missouri to reach the Pacific Ocean.
They took along 30 other men, a Native American named Saxuea and her little baby. They also took along Clark's slave York and Lewis's great big dog.
In 1805, they crossed the Rocky Mountains and traveled down the Columbia River to the ocean.
They had a very difficult trip. They almost starved to death. But finally, in November of 1805, they made it to the Pacific Ocean. Then they returned to Missouri of September of 1806.
On April 3rd, 1806, Captain Clark and 7 other men took a journey down the Willamette River to reach the Pacific Ocean. He was the first American to see the area we now call Portland.
Oh yeah, like these guys really traveled all the way. Come on.
Well, according to history, they did.
They had to travel for 4,000 miles by water in my canoe. Nobody could do that. Get real.
It was real, and I bet I can prove it.
How?
We'll read you something of their journals.
They had to write journals too?
Yes, the President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, ordered Lewis and Clark to write in their journals every day.
Here is what we wrote when we were close to Portland.
November 10th, 1805. Rained very hard last night and continues this morning. We are all wet, our bedding, and many other articles.
November 12th, 1805. All wet and cold. Our bedding also wet. Fortunately, the men are
November 14th, 1805. The rain continues all day, all wet.
Okay, I get the picture. I guess they were important.
By 1843, thousands of settlers were traveling to Oregon on what became known as the Oregon Trail. They traveled with oxen, horses, and everything they owned in the covered wagons.
Life on the trail was hard. There were many dangers. Many people died of diseases, but they journeyed on in hopes of finding good land in Oregon.
Women on the trail had to cook, clean, and sew all the clothes for the family. Sometimes unexpected things happened.
One woman wrote in her journal,
Last night my clothes fell out of the wagon and the oxen ate them up.
And then, like any journey, the kids always asked questions.
Mama, are we there yet? Mama, what's for dinner?
How did Portland get its name? Well, let me introduce you to Mr. Lovejoy and Mr. Overton.
Do you remember that clearing by the Willamette River? Well, Mr. Lovejoy and Mr. Overton claimed to belong to them. It probably wasn't fair, but the government in Oregon City sold the land to them for only 25 cents.
Well, Mr. Overton, 25 cents for all this land? I think we did quite well. Yes, Mr. Lovejoy, yes, we did. Maybe we could build a few houses here. Maybe a little town. Maybe a great city will be here. Whoa, don't get ahead of yourself. There's nothing here but some open land and a river. I mean, this place doesn't even have a name yet. Why it's just called the clearing? Yes, but we could build a dock for ships and on the go.
And Mr. Overton's right. A few houses were built on the spot, but soon Mr. Overton wanted to leave to go to California, so he sold half of his land to Mr. Pettigrew.
But he didn't tell Mr. Pettigrew that he had only paid pennies for it originally.
That's right, Mr. Pettigrew. $50 for all this land. Best land in the world. I mean, why buy towns anywhere else? And also, beautiful trees for free. And you know free is a very good price.
Well, $50 seems like a lot of money for a town that doesn't even have a name. I don't know.
At this price, I'm saving you a lot of money. And hey, if you don't buy from me today, I can't save you any money.
Okay, $50 it is, Mr. Overton, but I won't pay a penny more. So now the town is owned by Mr. Lovejoy and Mr. Pettigrew, but it still had one big problem. It didn't have a name. You know, Mr. Lovejoy, this sure is a nice town, but it really needs a name. Let's see, what could we call it?
I know. Let's name it after another town. That's what the Pilgrims did when they came to America. They named it after towns in England.
Good idea. Let's see. What could we call this place?
I know. Let's name it Boston, after my great home in Massachusetts. After all, Boston is a great city, and we want this to be a great city as well.
Mr. Lovejoy, I'm from Maine, and you know, we don't think much of Boston and Maine. I suggest we name it Portland after our very fair city in Maine.
See here, Mr. Pettigo. Boston is a bigger and more important city than your itty-bitty Portland.
See here, Mr. Lovejoy, Portland, Maine is a much more beautiful city than your ugly, stinking Boston.
If you go Boston, that's final.
No, if you go Portland, that's final.
Boston! Boston!
Hey, I have an idea. Let's sell this back to a coin. You call it.
Heads.
Tails it is.
Let's do out 3.
Okay, that's 2 out of 3. Called again.
Heads.
Feels good.
That's 3 out of 5.
No, Mr. Lovejoy. She's Portland, fair and square.
And so the town was named Portland.
By 1850, more and more houses were built. A newspaper was started.
A dock was built and Portland became a major port. Many trees were cut down and the clearing was expanded.
But soon, Portland got another name, Stump Town. You see, when the men cut down the trees, they often left the stumps still in the ground. Good morning, Justin and Abigail. This is lovely. Harriet, let me help them up. Oh, you're all right. I'm so tired of all these stumps and rabbits. I wish the men would pull them out. That's right. Those men are so lazy. All they do is drink beer. They don't care that no one can walk downtown without bumping into these awful stumps.
And did you hear what other towns are saying about us? We're the laughing stock of the West.
They call us Stumptown.
The summer of 1873 was hot, very hot, and it was also very dry.
It was 4 a.m. in the morning of August 2nd, 1873. Suddenly, a man came running out the warehouse. Where's the wagon
The fire spread quickly. All the buildings and houses were made of wood, and they were put very close together. The firemen tried to put out the fire, but they couldn't.
When the fire finally burned out, 22 blocks had been destroyed.
This event is known as the Great Fire. It changed a lot of things about Portland. More buildings downtown were made of wood, bricks, and they were put as close together anymore.
Unlike many western towns, the people of Portland helped each other.
They helped rebuild the town. They took care of each other.
They looked out for each other, and that's what Portlanders have always done.
Help each
Portland in just 12 days instead of months.
The railroad brought people and goods to Portland. The town grew to over 98,000 by the year 1900.
Buildings began to sprung up everywhere. Bridges like the old Morrison and Hawthorne bridges were built. Soon houses began to spring up on the east side.
A trolley system was built so that people could travel downtown.
Because boats had to go up and down the river, all the bridges were drawbridges.
The people liked to watch the bridges go up and down.
Sister? Yes. Do you ever fight with your brother or sister? Yes.
Well, wait a minute.
mother's name was Harvey Scott. The sister's name was Abigail Scott, who later married a Mr. Denway, her father, Abigail Scott Denway.
What were they fighting about?
They were fighting about the women's right to vote, or what was called women's suffrage.
In 1852, the Scotchmen left Illinois by coming wagon. The wagon more than 6 months later. Harvey Scott was 14, and Abigail Scott was 19.
Harvey became a lawyer and the editor of Henry Peacock's newspaper, The Oregonian, a position he had for nearly 50 years.
Harvey published his own opinion in the newspaper, and a lot of people believed what he said.
Harvey liked anything just as social progress. For example, he did not think children should go to school beyond elementary school.
They want their children to go to school beyond age 12? Let them pay! Public schools should not be turned into nurseries of idleness.
Abigail became a teacher, owned a hat-making business, and published her own newspaper called New Northwest. She was Harvey's opposite, and that she was supportive of women's rights.
We need to build,
Especially women's rights.
we need to build a better world for every woman. Women work at the kitchen sink without wages. Women are at the cooking stove, the rolling pin, the wash tub, and the iron board. Always without pay. They should at least have the right to vote.
We don't want belligerent females sitting hands, cluck, 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 beside our faith. Ignorant voting will be dangerous.
I've always heard that the difference between a man and a mule was that a man changed his mind. We are the only state in the West where women still cannot vote. It is high time that this state gave us this right. But Harvey was a stubborn as a mule. Every time elections held, he wrote article after article telling the men not to let women have the right to vote.
Women will get the right to vote over my dead body.
Then Harvey, my dear brother, I guess I'm just going to have to live longer than you.
And she did it. Abigail Scott lived away for 40 years to win the right to vote. In 1912, 2 years after Harvey died, the Women's Suffrage Act passed in Oregon.
We think that you have liked this next song.
We interrupt this broadcast. Today at 7 a.m., December 7, 1941, planes from the Empire of Japan have attacked the Pacific Fleet, Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. Thousands of American sailors are dead. The battleship Arizona has completely been destroyed. Stay tuned for more developments.
When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, the United States went to war against Japan and her ally Nazi Germany. This was known as World War II.
Portland played a very important part during World War II. Ships were built in Portland where there were thousands of ships.
Extra, extra, read all about it. All Japanese must do best now. Extra, extra. After Pearl Harbor was bombed, many Americans worried that Japanese Americans might be spies for Japan, although it was never proven that any of them were actual spies.
The United States government ordered all Japanese American citizens to move inland and not live near the West Coast.
All Japanese Americans living in Portland had to move. This event was known as the Japanese internment.
Many of these citizens who had done nothing wrong lost everything they owned, including their homes and their businesses. And it was very sad to see goodbye to their friends.
I don't know where half of our friends have gone. My mom says that they went to a prison camp in Idaho. It's awful. I don't know if we'll ever see them again, even after the war. Come on, let's go to school.
American too.
On May 18, 1980, this event occurred.
I'm standing here, just outside the red zone in Mount St. Louis. This morning, the Mount Lily blew apart in the gas over 50,000 feet to sky. Back in Portland, Richard Russell is standing by in our studios. Richard?
Thanks, Dave. Well, it was a clear, beautiful Sunday morning, but now the sky is blue with ash. People are advised to wear masks and not drive. The ash is very slippery, and there have been many traffic accidents already.
Portlanders cleaned up ash, and before long they're talking about other projects.
In 1981, a group of people wanted to build a square in the middle of the city.
The square is used for all sorts of activities, concerts, speeches, and of course, the Christmas tree.
The square would be very popular with everyone. It would be kind of like Portland's living room.
Except there's one problem.
This plan for a square is great, but how are we going to pay for it? You know how these bricks cost money?
I've got an idea. Everybody who wants to help build the square can buy a brick and we'll put the Christmas name on it.
Sounds good to me.
And that's just what they did. So if you're downtown at Pioneer Courthouse Square, look down if you can see all the names on the bricks.
Each person who bought that brick purchased that brick to help build the square.
February 1996, it snowed. Then it rained. It rained a lot, even for Portland.
The rain melted all the snow and water started to flow into the rivers.
And the rivers began to rise and rise and rise.
Mayor of Portland said,
People help us. We must build a wall to save the town.
And people did help. People came from all over to build a wall downtown.
thousands of people also helped clean after the flood.
Nobody asked them to help. Nobody made them do it. They did it on their own.
Because they were Portlanders.
Portlanders always help each other, and hopefully they always will.
Pouring down, rivers and streams
Thank you for joining us for our Portland musical. It has been such a joy working with your kids. Thank you for all of your support at home. I know you've probably been singing these songs at home as well. We've been humming them wherever we go. So they put in a lot of hard work. We've learned about Portland and we've enjoyed ourselves. We do have some thank yous to do real quickly before we let you go. We do want to thank Dana Garrett for taking her time to join us. That was time she took out and joined us, a music teacher you could tell. And so we just wanted to thank her for taking the time to be with us on a special day. I also want to take a second to also thank my teammates because
We would like to thank the third grade teachers for all their hard work.
I also want to take a second to also thank my teammates. I've got the best teammates on the planet, and it's been a pleasure working with you guys. So thank you for making this possible. It's been a lot of fun. So now we've kind of thanked all of the adults. I think it's time to thank the real stars again today. To visit with your children, so we want to give you a chance to visit and give hugs. Do us a favor, if you're going to be taking your child home, just so we know, if you could just wave at us so that we know who to account for, let us know you're taking your child home. And if you're around and you've got an extra pair of hands to put a couple chairs away, I know that our custodian, Mr. Dryling, who set up all of this for us today, I really appreciate the help too. So thank you for joining us and making this a really special day. Let's get a chance to visit with our parents. So Max, you want to take us off? I'm going to do right now.